Welcome to the deep dive. Drones. Wow, they seem to be absolutely everywhere now, don't they?
They really do. Amazing technology.
Yeah, from, stunning aerial shots to serious stuff like infrastructure checks. These UAVs, unmanned aerial vehicles, they've really changed things.
Absolutely.
But here's the thing. They look easy to fly, but actually operating one legally, especially somewhere like Malaysia, well, it turns out it's surprisingly complex. Okay, let's unpack this. So today, we're diving into Malaysian drone regulations. We've been looking at some official documents, excerpts from Undangan Perturn Penerbangan UAV.pdf. Bit of mouthful.
Yeah.
Our goal here is really to figure out what it actually takes to fly a drone legally in Malaysia.
Yeah.
Especially if you're thinking about using it professionally, for aerial photos, surveys, that kind of thing.
And what's fascinating here is how these regulations, though dense, try to boil down really complex safety and security ideas into practical rules.
Okay.
So yeah, we're going to pull out the essential nuggets, the need-to-know stuff from these docs, help you navigate it all without getting totally lost. Because these rules, they're really vital for safety, privacy, and importantly, national security.
Okay, so starting off, who are the main players? Like, which government departments are actually keeping an eye on drone flights and the data they collect in Malaysia?
Good question. There are a few key agencies you need to know about. First, there's JUPIM. That's the Department of Survey and Mapping Malaysia.
JUPIM, okay.
Then you've got the DCA, the Department of Civil Aviation.
Right, BCA.
And also SKMM, the Communications and Multimedia Commission.
Ah, okay. So JUPIM, DCA, SKMM. How do they, what does each one actually do, and do they work together?
Yeah, they do. If we connect this to the bigger picture, you can see how they fit together. JUPEM is essentially the gatekeeper for anything involving aerial imaging that might affect maps, surveying, or even defense data. Think geospatial information.
Okay, mapping and surveying, that's JUPEM.
Exactly. The DCA, well, they're kind of like the air traffic control for drones. They manage the airspace, make sure flights are safe, avoid conflicts with manned aircraft, that sort of thing.
Makes sense. Airspace safety.
And SKMM, their focus is on the communication side, making sure your drone signals don't interfere with important communication networks. Crucial nowadays, right?
Definitely.
And all this rests on a foundation of laws. The big one is the Civil Aviation Regulations 2016. But there are others, like the Official Secrets Act 1972, that comes in if you're dealing with sensitive geodata.
Wow.
Plus specific security directives like Pikaliling Ambalayan 1 Tahun 2007 and Arahan Keselamatan 1985. So these aren't just drone rules in isolation. They tie into broader national security frameworks.
Yeah.
It shows how seriously they take it.
That really paints a picture. It's like a whole web of oversight. So, okay, let's get down to the basics then. The core rules. What absolutely must any drone user know before flying in Malaysia? The non-negotiables.
Right. The documents spell out some clear fundamental rules. First off, no flying above 400 feet from the ground. That's a hard limit.
400 feet. Got it.
Second, stay out of aerodrome traffic zones. These are the areas right around airports. Big no-fly zones for drones.
It makes total sense. Don't mess with airports.
Exactly. Third, your drone, including whatever it's carrying, its payload, cannot weigh more than 25 kilograms.
Okay, 25 kilos max weight.
And finally, and this is a big one, you must always operate within your visual line of sight. You need to be able to actually see your drone at all times.
Always keep it in sight.
Okay.
Those seem like solid baseline safety rules.
They are. They apply to everyone, really.
So even if I'm just flying a tiny drone for fun in, say, a park, those rules still apply.
Yes, absolutely. Those basics are universal.
And what if I want to do more? Like maybe start a small business taking aerial photos for real estate or weddings?
Ah, okay. That's where it steps up a level. If you're doing professional work, especially capturing photos or videos from the air, you absolutely need specific permission from the authorities.
Right, that makes sense.
You'll primarily be dealing with CIAM, that's the Civil Aviation Authority of Malaysia. They took over from DCA and also JUPEM again. Getting their approval for commercial operations isn't optional. It's a requirement.
Okay, so professional use means, more hoops to jump through. Let's talk about that process. If you want to do professional imaging, what exactly do you need to do to get approval? Sounds like it could be tricky.
It involves a few steps, yeah. You're basically dealing with two main permissions. JUPEM, specifically their Defense Geospatial Division, BGSP, they give the consent for the actual imaging.
Okay, BGSP for the photos or video part.
Right. And then SHIAM handles the permission to use the airspace itself. So it's sort of a two-part approval.
Gotcha. Imaging consent and airspace clearance.
And here's something really critical. The documents emphasize this. You must have third-party insurance.
Ah, insurance. That's important.
Absolutely vital. It's to protect other people, third parties, just in case anything goes wrong. It's a key safety net.
Makes sense. So what about the paperwork for JUPEM? You mentioned specific documents. What do they actually ask for? I bet it's more than just showing your ID.
Oh, definitely. For the JUPIM application for aerial imaging, you need a whole packet. There's the standard stuff, like an official letter from your company or department, and copies of your MiCAD, your Malaysian ID, and the ID of the drone operator, too.
Okay. Standard company letter IDs.
But then you also need specific forms, like Form PPN 130. If a consultant is involved, you need their appointment letter. And crucially, very detailed info about where you plan to fly and collect data.
How detailed?
You need to provide the coverage area, usually as a KMZ or KML file. These are map files that pinpoint exactly where you'll be operating.
Ah, like a digital map of the flight zone.
Precisely. Plus any other supporting letters that might be relevant. And importantly, if your project is in Sarawak or Sabah, you need an extra permission letter from the Chief Minister's office there.
Wow, okay. Specific state permissions, too.
Yeah. The good thing is you can usually submit all this either by email or deliver it straight to BGSP JUPM.
Okay, that's a lot of detail. But here's where it gets really interesting, I think. Why all this strict permission, especially about the location? It's clearly not just red tape. It's about protecting specific places, right?
Exactly. It's fundamentally about security and protecting sensitive sites.
And the numbers in the documents are pretty eye-opening. They list, let me see, 490 Sazaran Penting, important targets. 9/11 Kawasan Larangan prohibited areas, over 1,010-26 Tempit Larangan restricted places, and then 88 areas that are both prohibited and restricted. That's a huge number of specific locations. What does that mean in practice for a drone operator?
It means you have to be incredibly careful about planning your flight paths. This raises an important question. What are these places? Why so many?
Yeah, exactly.
These numbers tell you that a very significant amount of Malaysian territory or airspace has some level of restriction. These aren't just random spots. They're critical infrastructure, military sites, government buildings, the things vital to the nation's function and security.
So how do they categorize them? Is there a system?
Yes, the documents mention two main categories, R and Y restrictions. Understanding these gives you a real insight into what's considered critical.
R and Y. Okay, what's a R?
R is for general national importance. This covers things like major industrial areas vital for defense or the economy, general security force installations and airports excluding the really high security ones, communication hubs like transmitter stations, government HQs, oil depots, power stations, water reservoirs, even satellite communication stations. Basically, infrastructure crucial for day-to-day life and general security.
Okay, so important civilian and general security infrastructure. What about Y? That sounds more serious.
It is. Y is for highly sensitive military or defense areas. This is the top tier of restriction. Think ammunition depots, explosive storage, weapons depots.
Ah, okay. Definitely don't fly there.
Definitely not without explicit high-level permission, which would be rare. It also includes military equipment factories, certain specific security force installations not covered by R, underground oil storage, key import terminals, and critically, any research and development facilities vital for national defense.
Wow.
So seeing these lists, the R and Y categories, and just the sheer number of them, it really drives home why you need permits, why you need insurance, and why you must know exactly where you are allowed to fly. You really, really need to check your maps and your permissions.
Absolutely. That puts the whole application process into perspective. It's not just paperwork. It's about navigating this complex map of sensitive locations.
Obviously.
Now, shifting gears slightly, beyond flight rules and restricted areas, what about registering the drone itself? We hear about this in other countries. Like in the U.S., the FAA requires registration for most drones, right? Something like 180,000 registered.
Yeah, the U.S. has a federal registration system through the FAA for drones over a certain weight, between 0.2 kilograms and 25 kilograms, roughly.
So how does that work in Malaysia? Is there a similar government mandate?
Well, it's a bit different. While there might not be the exact same type of mandatory federal registration system as the FAA's, there are local organizations where owners can register their UAVs.
Oh, like drone associations.
Exactly. The documents mention you can register with MUDA, that's the Malaysia UAV Developments Association, or MUDIS, the Malaysia UAV Drones Activist Society.
MU on MEVs.
Yeah. Registering with them provides a way to, be part of the recognized drone community, promote responsible flying, and stay informed within the local context. It's often seen as a good practice, a way to show you're a responsible operator.
So a bit more community-based rather than strictly government-mandated registration, perhaps. Interesting. Okay, we've covered a lot, the agencies, the rules, the permits, the restricted zones, registration. So what does this all mean for you, our listener? If you're thinking about flying a drone in Malaysia, what's the big takeaway?
I think the main takeaway is that drone operation in Malaysia, especially if it's professional, requires more than just knowing how to work the controls.
Right. It's not just about the tech.
No, it's about really understanding the rules, getting the right permissions, which can be detailed, and being acutely aware of the sensitive nature of airspace in certain locations. It really boils down to being a responsible operator. That means prioritizing safety and respecting national security protocols.
Exactly. It's about responsibility. And as we've sort of touched on, this technology, drones, it's moving so fast, isn't it?
Incredibly fast.
And regulations often seem to be playing catch-up. It creates this ongoing tension, this balancing act. How do you encourage innovation and access while still protecting safety, privacy, and national security?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's a challenge governments worldwide are grappling with.
Yeah, it really makes you think about how society keeps adapting or tries to adapt to these rapid technological shifts. What new challenges, but also what new opportunities are going to come out of this dynamic. Something to ponder.
Definitely food for thought.
Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Malaysian drone regulations. We hope this has been insightful.
Hope it helps clarify things a bit.
Yeah. Our advice, stay informed, fly responsibly, and always keep exploring these complex topics with curiosity. Until next time.